to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be doing an eyeshadow palette declutter. So I know that I haven't done my eyeshadow collection and I do them yearly, but this year I'm actually going to talk about palettes that I no longer feel like are useful to my collection, or I've fallen out of love with, or just palettes that I'm kind of indecisive of if I want to keep them or not. So I quickly just want to mention that a lot of these palettes are already listed on my Mercari for sale. If you guys feel like there's a better offer and you really want the palette, feel free to just message me. I'll consider a reasonable offer. Some of these palettes are brand new, some of them are barely touched. So if you don't feel comfortable buying used makeup, I completely understand, but all of the makeup that I am selling I've currently sanitized. So just feel free that if you guys like anything in the video, they will be swatched, but they're in really good condition. And check out my Mercari if you guys are interested in buying anything from me. So the palettes that I'm indecisive about, until I make a decision, I will not be listing them on my Mercari. But if I do make the decision and I no longer feel like it serves a purpose, then it will be listed. So just keep up to date on there, and you guys can follow me. It's a free app. It's really fun. I post stuff all the time, so check it out if you'd like to. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoy declutters. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and turn on your post notifications. I upload every single Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so check it out. I try to upload at 8 p.m. but if I ever miss my time, just know I have a 2-month-old and sometimes he's a little fussy, so it kind of gets in the way with like my editing or my filming schedule, but I try to be as consistent as I can. Alright, so this is a brand new palette, and this is actually the 18 color baked eyeshadow palette from BH Cosmetics, and it is a Supernova. As you guys can see, it's brand new. I took off the cover, I believe, but I've never swatched any of the eyeshadows. This is listed for sale on my Mercari, but if I happen to sell anything else and make a couple of extra bucks, I probably will be giving this away. Like I said, it's brand new. It hasn't been swatched. It's still in its package, so yeah. I'm just choosing them randomly. I'm not going in any order. So the next one is the Essence. I'm with the Band palette, and this is a 16 color? Yeah, 16 color eyeshadow palette. And this is what these shades look like, and it's pretty nice. It has a good variety of mattes and shimmers, but I already have a lot of shades like these in other palettes, so it's brand new as well. Then I have the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette, and this one is super pretty. It was actually one of my favorite palettes, and it has a variety of shades. It has like a blue, some purple, some jewel tones, and then like a peachy tone on top. This is a highlighter, and this one is the only matte shade in the palette. I really like the formulation of this palette, and I really enjoyed it for the time being. It smells great, by the way. The only thing is, it's an all shimmer palette and I barely reach for it. I just have so many eyeshadow palettes that I feel like if it no longer serves a purpose to my collection, it's just better to get rid of it or sell it. So yeah, but it's great condition. The shadow formula is awesome, and like I said, it smells like chocolate. I think it's made with like Amazonian clay or something, but it smells delicious. Next we have the Carity Rose All Day palette, and this is there's 15 shades in this palette, and it's such a pretty palette. I love these shades right here. The shade called Fun Day, and then Hooray, and then Cheer. Like, they're such pretty pink shades. The only reason that I feel like getting rid of it is just because I feel like I'm not gonna reach for it that much, but I might try it on my eyes, and if I really like the performance of it, I will keep it since it's an affordable brand and the palette is beautiful. I really like the formulation of it. I just don't really reach for it all that much. And then we have the Revolution Pro Regeneration Unleashed palette, and this one has mauves, and it's super pretty. I love the quality of Makeup Revolution eyeshadows. It has like these peachy shades, variety of mattes and shimmers. Here are a couple of swatches. They swatch really beautifully. Like I said, Makeup Revolution is that girl. Like, they dupe so many high-end products, and the products that they make just part of their collection, not duping anything, are phenomenal. I love Makeup Revolution. They're super affordable, so this one I actually might try on my eyes, but I'm not sure since I already have a lot of shades that are kind of like plum and rose, so I don't find the need to keep more palettes that I feel like I'm not going to gravitate towards. And then next we have the Kylie Royal Peach palette. This one is also one that I'm contemplating about, just because this palette is magnetic, so whatever shades I want to keep, I can just put them in a Z palette or a magnetic palette, and whatever palettes, whatever eyeshadows I no longer want, I can just resell them. But most of them are swatched, so I don't feel like anyone would want them. But there's like this peach shade, the blue, the mattes are just like super pretty and super buttery. Someone said that this had like a really strong smell, but mine didn't smell like anything chemically. So like I said, her palettes are all magnetic, which is fantastic. I really appreciate that, because sometimes you want to depot your palettes and you don't want to deal with like the hassle of breaking an eyeshadow or having to remove the glue from the back of the pan and then adding a magnet. So I think that's very handy. It's a gorgeous palette nonetheless. I just feel like it would do better with a combination of other eyeshadows. And then I have the Beauty Creation Esmeralda 2 palette, and this one is gorgeous as well. I love the shades in here. The only thing is that I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I have shades similar to this in other palettes. The only shade that really intrigues me is like the teal on the bottom, which is this shade right here. I did a quick swatch of it. Let me just do it on the back of my hand so you guys can see it. It's like a duochrome shade. It's like a blue brown, but it has like a black base underneath. It's just super gorgeous, super nice for like a smoky eye with like black in the crease, or like a deep dark brown. Like I said, the shades are just really pretty. They swatch really fantastically, and I've tried Beauty Creations formula before. It's really, really nice. Even the matte shades in here are super pretty. I just feel like someone else would probably get better use of it if they had it in their collection, but I don't know. I might give it a shot. If I don't like the formulation, I will be decluttering it, but this one I really do want to give it a fair shot before I just get rid of it. Next, I have the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette, and this one is super pretty. It's never been touched, and I bought it off of Mercari whenever it was on sale. But like I said, she didn't touch it and I haven't touched it. It's literally just a palette that keeps going on its tradition not being touched. And I feel like I have a lot of these eyeshadows in the Naked palettes. I have all of the Naked palettes except for the Reloaded and the Honey, but pretty much like I would get the shades that I want in those palettes. So yeah, it's just probably time to give this to someone that's actually going to take better care of it and use the shadows. Then I have two by Lip Gloss palettes, and this is the My Holy Grail. So this is a Holy Grail. This palette was it back in the day. Like whenever this came out, everyone was using it and it was all the rave. The shades are beautiful. They're not bad. Violet Voss is such a pretty, makes such a pretty formula for eyeshadows. And I love that Wine and Dine shade, but I just feel like honestly I don't reach for it and I never will reach for it. I have the Ride or Die palette and I literally never use it. It's a huge palette, but it contains most of these shadows that are in here. Very dupeable, very similar shades. And then the next one I have here is the Matte About You. This one is gorgeous as well. It has a variety of any matte neutral you would need, but I wish that I would have been a better buyer and kind of made better decisions when it came to my purchases, because each one of these palettes is $45. So yeah, they're a little bit up in price. They are nicely made. They are gorgeous. I just don't even find the need to like depot them and use them, because I don't think I'll ever gravitate towards those type of shades. So that's why I'm getting rid of them. Alright, so next I have, I guess I'll get these out of the way. This is the Delancey palettes. These are actually a brand online, And I love trying indie brands. I love trying online brands because sometimes they're like hidden gems in there. These are not bad quality. The only thing is that the shades I just don't need. I really like the other edition of this because it came with 3. It was a set of 3. Yeah, this palette is gorgeous. The shades are really pigmented. I actually have never tried these on my eyes. I've only swatched them and they seem to be very, very pretty, but the shades just don't call out to me, which is why I'm getting rid of them. Next we have the Beauty Treats Modern Matte Palette, which looks like this. It's an all matte palette, and this one was actually a palette that I found on Shop Hush. I really need to try this formula and see if it's good, but for the majority I just feel like the only shades I would keep it for are like the peach shade and the pink, which are these 2 shades right here. But other than that, I feel like they're kind of lackluster. It's not that they're it's not because they're inexpensive, but I just feel like I'm never gonna try it out, and it's not a palette I'm gonna reach for, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. Alrighty, this is one I'm also kind of iffy about because it's super, super gorgeous. This is the Beauty Creations Tease Me palette. So these shimmers in here are beautiful. They are so creamy, so buttery, and so pigmented. It's insane to me that like not even high-end eyeshadows perform like this. Like they are just so freaking pigmented. I wish they would have made more shades matte, but the shimmers in here are so freaking pretty. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. This was supposed to be a dupe of some kind, like Huda Beauty. The formula reminds me of Huda Beauty, but honestly these are a little bit easier to work with and swatch beautifully. Huda Beauty's formula can get a little bit messy, so I'm still kind of debating on this one. Another one I'm debating about is the Dose of Colors Hidden Treasures palette, which looks like this. I know when this first came out, there was a little bit of controversy as to why the hell the shades were arranged in the way that they were. I have no idea, but I really love the Dose of Colors formulation. The only thing about this is I've never reached for it since I bought it. I'm actually wearing their ice cream palette on my eyes today. On the bottom lash line I just used a purple liner, but this one is super, super pretty. I'm gonna try to give it a shot and use it. So let me know if you guys want like a series on palettes I'm getting rid of and seeing if I'll actually end up keeping them or not, because majority of them I feel like I won't be keeping, but this one, like I said, is one that I'm still debating. Next is the Balm Meet Matrimony, and this is a gorgeous palette, but I feel like I've gotten my use out of it and I feel like it's just time to let it go. They are super, super pigmented. I love the formula of the Balm shadows, and I feel like people don't really talk about them as much, only whenever they get like PR. But other than that, I feel like it's not really like a talked about brand, but it should be. Like their shades are super, super pretty. But I just feel like it's just time to move on to something else. I've already gotten my fair share uses out of this, so I am going to be getting rid of it. Talking about Meet Matrimonies, I'm also getting rid of the Meet Matte Nude. This one I also really liked and I really loved it when I was using it, but I don't reach for it anymore. It is very cool tone, which isn't what's turning me off about it. It's just the fact that I feel like I already have other cool tone palettes. And I might buy them again. I just feel like also I've had them for so long. So, I don't know. Do these palettes go bad? They have 12 months worth of wear. But yeah, I just feel like I've already tried them and I've gone in. I haven't hit pan on them, but I did really, really love that white shade. So this is a great palette. They're not bad. I'm not getting rid of them because they're awful quality. I also wanted to declutter the Meet Matte Adore, which is this one. But then I kept looking at it and I really like the 3 shades on the bottom, and the other ones I can just use for like working stuff. So I will be keeping the Matte Adore since it's a little bit more wearable, so that one I'm not decluttering. And also one that I did plan on decluttering but I was iffy about is the Meet Matte Schmaker. So yeah, I really like the shades in here, and I really like how it has a matte and then a shimmer. So they are very, very pretty. I do really like these shades in this one as well. So I think the Meat Matte Nude and the Meat Matrimony are two of the palettes that I'm going to be definitely getting rid of. Okay, so next is the Lorac California Dreaming palette. This one is super, super pretty. It came out a couple of years ago, and it's still in really great shape. The only thing is, I just feel like I don't ever reach for it. It has such pretty shades, but I never use it. And the shade that was seriously so amazing was the shade called, what is it called? Kitty Cat? It literally swatches so beautifully. I would keep it just for that one shade, but even then, I'm just like, I'm never going to use Kitty Cat. Next is the Burgundy Mermaid palette from Two Gems Couture. These are super pretty pans, and they perform really well. And the only thing is, I don't use glitter. I never use glitter on my eyes, and the mattes in here, I just feel like I'm never going to use them. Like, I love the red burgundy shade. Like, that is such a pretty shade. But at the same time, I'm probably never going to actually end up wearing it on my crease, or I'll have something similar in my eyeshadow collection. Okay, so the next palette is the Suva Beauty Protege palette, which looks like this. And I don't think it's a bad palette. I don't think it's bad looking. The only thing I don't like about it is the colors. It swatches really nicely, and I love Suva Beauty. They are such a great brand. I love, love, love their single shadows and their palettes. I've tried, besides this palette, their Block Party palette is phenomenal, and their hydroliners are the shit. So I just don't find the need to keep this palette, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. Next is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. And this is an all shimmer palette, which you guys already know. I'm not really all that much of a shimmer fan. I would much rather get rid of it because I have so many shades similar to it in highlighters, and that's what the only thing I would use this palette for. Next is the Crown Pro palette, and this is, what is it? It's like the warm palette. The shades are super, super pretty. I love the shades in here. Again, I just feel like I would never use this palette. Like, I already have so much stuff similar to it that I'm just like, what would be the point of keeping it? I already have warm shades in my collection. And yeah, like there's just like different variations of browns. I already have like the 3503 and the 3502 because I actually got rid of my 350. So yeah, that palette, it's fine to let go of. Okay, so the next palette is the Urban Decay Troublemaker. This one I love the shades of, but I know I'm never going to actually use it. And if anything, I just would keep this shade right here, which is called Relish. But other than that, it's super, super pretty palette. And I think it's great, but I would never use it. Like, I would never really reach for it. And if I did, I'd probably use it like 2 or 3 times. So it's just time to let it go. Okay, next I have the Kristen Leanne, and this one I'm just going to send it off to see if one of my cousins wants it in Mexico, because I pretty much would not reach for this anymore. I used to use it for work, and I only used to use that shade. The palette is really nice, and they swatch well, but like I said, I just don't really reach for it anymore, and I just don't find the use to keep the palette, so that's why. These are the Wet n Wild Little Color Icon eyeshadow quads. Now these, I know that they're super small, but again, I would never actually use these. And I wish that they would have just made the eyelid shades matte, because I would much rather have wanted them like that. But these two trios, one is called, it doesn't even have the names on it. I think I took the names off. But yeah, this one's like a little quad. They still sell them on their website. I don't think they've gotten rid of them yet. This is the NYX Ultimate Multi-Finish Shadow Palette. This one's super cute too, but I just have shades like this already in single shadows. There's like a hot pink and a lime green and like a pastel blue. These are some of the shades in here. These are some of the shades. And yeah, it's not that they're ugly or anything. I just would never reach for this. I already have a lot of similar shades, and this is, let me do a close-up, but this is what the palette looks like. Alright, so next I have these little mini Tarte palettes. I have my whole arm like this. Okay, so this is the Tarte Pro to Go palette, and it's just a mini. I already sold my Tarte Pro. Like, I'm never going to use those little mini shadows. And these are also the like smaller versions of the like big tartlets. Again, probably would never reach for it. Next I have the Pure Festival. The Pure Festival I would literally keep for one shade, and you guys can guess that it's going to be Wild Child, which is this hot pink. It's just such a pretty freaking shade. But like, they have Free Spirit, Psychedelic, Good Vibes, Peace. I already have shades like that. And then they have Epic, Gypsy, All Night, and Hidden Desert. And yeah, like I just don't. This would be like what the Unzips Mountain Sunset. So I guess I can keep that one and get rid of the, this one I think. This is the Desert Sunset by Lorac, and it has a similar color story, but yeah, they have very few mattes in here, and I just, like I said, I was collecting all of them, but I've gotten over that phase, so it's going in the declutter pile. Okay, next is the Fancy Eyeshadow Pressed Powder eyeshadow by Oakland, and this is the bronze palette, which looks like this. It's cute. It's not a bad formula. I just feel like it's time to let it go, and I'm over collecting like even dupes of stuff. So this is the BH Cosmetics Afternoon Rendezvous 16 colored eyeshadow palette, another one that isn't open. So yeah, it looks like this. So let's move on to more Tarte products. This is the Tartelette palette. This is the first one. It's just, I've grown it out. It's a really pretty shade, and I really liked it when I first got it, but I don't reach for it anymore, which is why I'm decluttering it. And another Tartelette palette is the Tartelette in Bloom. This one has a lot of warm shades. And I like this one a little bit better than the Tartelette. I really love the Toasted. I might keep the In Bloom, but I really don't use the Tartelette anymore. And so next we have the Oakland Soap. I don't know what it's called. But Oakland Matte Eyeshadow, and this is a dupe for the Venus one. And I honestly prefer the formula of these shadows a little bit better. I feel like I just love the way that they look on the eyes and the way that they perform, and I always reach for these. So yeah, but I already have the originals. Another Oakland palette is this one from Oakland. This is the Burgundy palette, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Kylie Cosmetics Burgundy palette. The burgundy shade is, I guess it's not really burgundy, so yeah. So my arm is clean now. I still have a couple of stains from the swatches. Rimmel London palettes, and this one is in the shade called Wow. Really pretty shimmers, but not enough mattes. I believe this is an all shimmer palette, which is why I'm just like, I already have shades like these in singles, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. Next is the Pure Soiree Diaries, and I honestly really like this palette. I used it a couple of times. Glitzy, Twinkle, Dazzle, all of the shimmer shades. All of these shimmer shades are super pretty. So yeah, I'm still debating on this one because I fell in love with it, and I actually bought it off of someone who was selling it from their BoxyCharm on Mercari. Alright guys, so sorry if, is it lighting up? I don't even know. I might be too high for exposure, but I'm sorry. So like I was saying, the next one, this one is also one that I'm kind of contemplating about because it is a really pretty palette, and I feel like I would get use out of it if I did like reviews. Honestly, the mattes swatch way better than these shimmers, but this is the NYX Warm Neutrals, and it's a really nice palette. I think that if you're a beginner, this would be really great. Like I said, this is still one that I'm kind of debating about because it is a really pretty palette, and I feel like it would be helpful if I'm ever doing like a drugstore tutorial, and even then I just feel like the shades are really nice, and I already spent the money, so I might as well just try it out for a little bit longer. If I don't want it again, I will reactivate it on my Mercari. Alright, so this is also one I was kind of debating about because I love the formula of Be Bella Pro, and this is the Basic Browns. Now this one I know is another neutral palette, but I really do like how it has like a plum shade and like a burgundy. So I'm gonna be actually keeping the Basic Browns and getting rid of the Makeup Revolution, since like I said, the shades that I liked in here are actually more pigmented than the ones in the Makeup Revolution. Okay, so next I have this one, and I honestly wish I would have never bought this palette because I never used it and it's just kind of boring to me. This is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. Super pretty, just not really my cup of tea, and I never really gravitate towards it. Next is the Lorac Pro 3, and this is just, I don't know, like I like the shades in here. They are really pretty, but they're nothing like too crazy, and I really love the shade Medallion, but that one's like the worst shade in this palette. It just doesn't really speak to me that much. It is a gorgeous palette, but it just doesn't really call my attention anymore, which is why I'm getting rid of it. This is a Violet Voss Pro highlighting powder, and this is a small little palette. It comes with 3 different highlighters. I'm not going to swatch them because I already cleaned it off since I am selling it, but it's like Unicorn Luster, Star Glow, and Moon Gleam. Super pretty highlights. I just don't reach for it, and I don't really like the formulation all that much. Okay, so next I have the beautiful and one of my first high-end palettes, and this is the Lorac Mega Pro. I just don't reach for it. I like the shade Mulberry and Gray, but other than that, I've kind of outgrown it. I've gotten so much use out of this, and it's a great palette. This one I just feel like I've already used the crap out of it, and yeah, for the time being, I already have a lot of camel shades, a lot of shimmers like this, and I just feel like it's time to let it go. This is the next palette. This is the Balm Volume 3 Nude Eyeshadow. This one reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. 5 mattes, and then the rest are shimmer. And yeah, I don't know. I might keep this one just because it is kind of new to my collection and I never actually got to use it. Then I have the Revolution Pro Regeneration, and this is a super pretty palette as well. I just really don't find a need for it since majority of the shades are like a marble kind of color, and to be honest, I'm never going to use these, so I just feel like I need to get rid of it. Next is the Revolution. This is just like a eyeshadow palette that they came out with, and it's a makeup pigment and highlighter palette. Super pretty shades, like they all swatch really well and they're super pigmented. I just know I'm never going to use it. Alright, so next I have the Tarte Man Eater, and this is actually the first one which looks like this. The formula is really phenomenal, but I just feel like I have shades very similar to this that I gravitate towards more. Like, I really like the KKW palettes, and that has really similar shades to the Man Eater, which is why I'm getting rid of it. Then I have this Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio, and this one's super cute, but it's kind of too deep for my skin tone. I actually got the shade Dark Rich, and I'm a medium to fair skin tone, so that's not really gonna work. I wish BoxyCharm would have paid more attention to that, because yeah, I'm never gonna get to use it. Okay, so next I have the Beauty Creations Olivia palette. This one is super pretty, has like a really nice array of burgundy shades, shimmers. Here are some swatches, and then like a green shade. I don't know. It has like 3 shades that look literally the exact same. Like, tell me those aren't the exact same shadows. That's hella weird. But these shimmers are really pretty, and so are the mattes. So I don't know. I might keep this one just because I really do like the mattes. And the shimmers in here, I just wish they would have paid more attention to literally the 3 shades in here that look exactly the same. Alright, so next I have the Moira Cosmetics. This is the Unravel palette. This one is super cute. It has like really mauve tone shades in this shade called Crucial. But again, it's just not really shades that I gravitate towards, and I know that if I do gravitate towards them, I have them in other palettes, which is why I'm getting rid of it. And it also has highlighters. I'm not sure if you guys saw it very well, but it has like highlighters and a blush down here, so it's like an all-face palette. They're really big and really great for the price. They retail for $22, but next is the Moira Cosmetics Meant to Be, and this one is super pretty as well. Has really pretty like mauve shades and like blushes and stuff. I don't know, I might keep this one and actually do like a full face or like a video on it. It's super pretty. Has really nice cool tone, plenty shades. And then we're almost done. I have here the Kat Von D Matte and Metal palette. This one I bought, and it's super pretty. All of the palettes, honestly, that's why I buy them, because I like them. But the only shade that really caught my eye was Velour, and I already have blues in my collections that I can use, so I just don't find the need to have this one anymore. Kat Von D makes a great eyeshadow formulation, but I don't know, I really don't think that if I use it, I'm gonna get like my use out of it. The shades in here are really pretty, but there are only a couple of select shades that I would keep that I can't depot, and I don't feel like depotting, which is why I feel like getting rid of it. And it is kind of dented over here. Alright, so these I hauled back in like October or November, but this is the Extreme Access Pocket Shadow, and this one is in the shade called Red Carpet Premiere. Yeah, the palettes are cute, but I just don't really think that they're that great of quality, so that's why I wanted to get rid of them. This one is called Walk of Stardom. Again, really cute. I just wouldn't reach for it. The next one is the Tarte's Pro To Go palette, and this one is super pretty as well, but I just don't reach for it all that much. I don't even know why I buy face palettes, because I always end up not using them. And then I have the Pinky Rose Cosmetics, the Transition palette, and these two were limited edition. This one is called something Plum. I hella forgot the name of it, but super pretty palette. I really do like it. I like the shade Tulips and Taffy, but other than that, I pretty much don't. Oh, and Plum. Plum was a really pretty shade, but other than that, I don't really reach for it, and it's kind of hard to store them because of the circle shape. And then I also have the Sunflower palette, which this one, the actual like color story of this palette is like super pretty. They have Heartless, they have Grunge, but I already have shades like these in other palettes, which is also why I'm getting rid of them. And then I have the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. This one isn't a bad palette, it's just that it gets like really powdery, and it makes it look like all the shadows have like a white cast on it, but it's literally just like the fallout from the other shades. It really was a good palette and I enjoyed it while I was using it, but I just feel like I've kind of outgrown it. I don't know. I might still keep it because I really like the neutral shades in it. Okay, and then the last ones are the Lorac Pro Matte. This is the mini palette. I've gotten my fair use of this palette, but I don't really reach for it all that much. It just has really nice basic neutrals in it and necessities that you would need for like a smoky look. It's very pretty. And then the Lorac Pro Matte, again, super pretty palette, but I already have shades like this in singles, which is why I just feel like it's time to get rid of them. And last but not least are the mini palettes. I actually did a review on this like a couple years ago, but this is the mini chocolate chip palette, and it's an all matte palette. And yeah, I was super excited when they came out, but I honestly should have listened to everyone in the comments and just not have gotten them. And this is the white chocolate chip. So yeah, that concludes everything about my declutter. Also, the last one is the Pure BoxyCharm. This one is really pretty, but the only shade I actually liked in it was this burgundy shade down below, and the blue shade. So literally the two that are like right next to each other. But I know I have shades like this in singles or shades like them similar to other palettes. So yeah, I kept some palettes, and the palettes that I did consider on keeping, I will be doing a video, or I might just do them whenever I have time. Like this look, it was with a palette I was thinking of decluttering, but now that I used it, I feel like I will get some use out of it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit lengthy, so I hope you guys stuck through. If not, you guys can watch it in parts. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Turn on your bell notifications. Remember to check out my last couple of videos, the James Charles versus Wet n Wild, and I did a giveaway, so I'm doing a giveaway. So if you guys want to join, make sure to check out that video. I will leave it linked up above in the cards or in the end cards. So yeah, just make sure to check it out, and I will also leave it linked down below. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to turn on your bell notifications so you guys never miss the video from me. See you guys in the next one. Bye guys.